morning I have Game of Thrones on the brain, and I really wish that I could do Ask Kristen as just different Game of Thrones characters. Ask Sansa, ask Cersei, ask, what's the dragon mom's name? I always forget her name because I'm too swept away by the beauty of her hair. Khaleesi! All of her answers would just be, throw off your chains that bind you! First of all, I wanted to thank everybody who commented on last week's Ask Kristen video, Can Men Be Feminist? I was bracing myself for what I thought was going to be a crap storm of comment. People were surprisingly civil and respectful. Testubo57, listen, you comment a lot, and also for that I appreciate it. Raise his hand, male feminist here. I deal with this topic on my channel on a regular basis. Few things bring out more bile and hatred. It is disturbing and disheartening. I was heartened to see that there can be productive conversations that can come out of talking about feminism. Who knew? Fake Geek Girl said, men can most definitely be feminists, but what I can't understand is when people criticize male feminists because they're too privileged to know what they're talking about. People complain that society only listens to straight white men, but then they get angry when straight white men support them, which doesn't make sense to me. I think it's important whether you are a straight white man or a cisgendered straight white woman, as I am, or whatever you are, to recognize your privilege, but I don't think that we should discount people based on how they look, because that's kind of the antithesis of this whole feminism thing. Logan Arrowwood put it succinctly and awesomely, totally feminist, totally a dude, hashtag BAM, to which I say hashtag high five. This week on the show I wanted to do something a little bit different and discuss a comment. Trigger warning, it does include a description of sexual assault. This is coming from Alessandra, who writes, I'm 18 and I'm experiencing going out to bars with friends. There are many times where a man has started trying to kiss me and hasn't taken no for an answer. And I'm sure it doesn't help that instead of firmly putting my foot down, I'll joke it off while saying no. I do that because I'm afraid of him thinking that I'm an asshole and all of his friends making fun of me. I've also been at parties and had men force themselves upon me even after I've pushed them away and told them that my taxi is waiting, and they proceeded to digitally penetrate me under my skirt without my consent. That is not all men by any means, and this is absolutely not a rare occurrence, but what's incredible is how much I feel like I shouldn't say no to them because I'll be seen as uptight. What's incredible to me is that this isn't a rare occurrence. What's incredible to me is that even though you explicitly say that you were digitally penetrated without your consent, you don't use the word rape or sexual assault, because that is what it is. Women are so often caught in this catch-22 slut-shaming bind. If we are having sex, and a lot of it, and especially not with one monogamous partner, we are deemed sluts. If we say no to people that we don't want to have sex with, then we are deemed uptight. I'm gonna do what I don't often do on stuff I've never told you and really speak a lot from personal experience. I hope this doesn't get weird. I had sex with a guy one time because I just didn't want to be seen as like uptight, like we knew each other and it was kind of building up to this point. Once it was going down, I was like, I don't know that I really want to be having sex, but I'm gonna just do this. Having sex solely so that the other person won't think of you in a negative way can leave you feeling very hollow. And I decided after that that I was never gonna do that again, that I was never going to have sex that I didn't want to have, that I was going to tell men no. If someone labels me as uptight and suddenly unattractive simply because in one moment in time I don't want to get naked and have sex with them, I don't really want them to be intimate with me in my life anyway. So I just wanted to take a moment to talk about more of this internalizing process of consent on a personal level, saying no and letting someone just be a jerk if they want to be a jerk feels actually a lot better than going through with something you don't really want to do and then having to feel that. But I want to hear from other folks too around these issues of boundary setting, being afraid to say no, maybe dealing with people's negative, rude, jerkish reactions. When I was a lot younger, I had basically no sex education to speak of, no experience, and I wish that I had known from the get-go about this kind of stuff. How to say no, not just how to kiss a boy, how to do X, Y, or Z, but also how to know what I want. So let me know in the comments below, and I'll see y'all next week.